What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Randomz. It's your boy Antoine. I'm here with my man right here. What's your name and what you do, bro?
gjpjcrush, hip-hop journalist, promoter, MC. You know, I wear a lot of hats. You know what I mean? Host with the utmost. Some say I'm a hip-hop historian. Yeah, I can believe that.
No doubt. Where you from?
Born in Orange. Started out in Illtown, now Montclair bound.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Did a little bit in Belleville too.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your clothing line. I see you got a clothing line started.
Oh, well, actually, this is one of the latest pieces of it. Well, it's graph head gear. Let me show you like a couple of these are the original ones here.
I got it.
This is one of the original ones. This one. You can tell it's original, you know, it's about time. I'm gonna relaunch the original ones, and this is one of the latest ones. I just got this one done.
Fire.
One of the newest ones.
Fire.
Got the hat. And this right here, it says Vandal. You know how Ralph Lauren, he has Polo, but then he has chaps as well. It's another brand of his brand. So I figured I'll come out with Vandal. So Vandal is like a brand of the brand. Just something separate.
Okay, that's dope. I like that.
We got the hat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt.
But yeah, basically graph head gear, you know, it was inspired by my graffiti background. You know, since I was real little, wasn't even 5 years old yet, I used to see the writings on the wall. So I asked my brother Derek, you know, what was it? And he said it's graffiti. So, you know, sometimes your siblings like to play jokes and play games and stuff like that. So I'm like, got me a second opinion. I was like, Mom, what's the writings on the walls? She said graffiti. So I went with it, you know, and then I just started writing on everything. You know what I mean? And my mother got a call from the school, like, look, you know, he's writing on everything. So thank God I didn't get my butt beat. But she did explain to me that you can't just be writing on everything. So from there, I had a fascination with graffiti. And then a few years later, after we moved to Montclair, I say like grammar school, a family member, shout out to Kevin Smith, you know, he used to, him and, oh yeah, Vinny Mitchell, rest in peace, they used to spark on my notebook. We used to call it sparking up, like tagging. You know, they used to tag on my notebook. They used to draw homeboys and draw their names. They'd write their names. And then there was an S that we used to do back in the day. I'll show y'all one of these days, but it's an S we used to do. You actually have to do like 6 lines, and then you like form the
I remember
S.
that.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It was kind of like the bootleg Superman type of S.
Yeah, exactly.
That. Yeah.
So once I perfected that, it was on since then. And come 7th grade, I was definitely into it. I was fully into graffiti. One of my homeboys, my day ones, Larry Wood, let me borrow his Subway art book, and it was on from there. You know, and around that same time, I started seeing a lot of around the way heads that was doing their thing, like Tame, Porn, you know, Hawk and Rev, J. Rue, Too Nasty Nas, Prince, you know, Hot Rod, the Cuz. It was a lot of them. You know, my bro Sire, my bro Soul One. It was a lot of people that was doing their thing that was from Jersey, from my area. So I'm like, that was inspirational too. And then a lot of them I ended up being like real good friends with. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, here comes the clothing line. You know, my mom was 100% behind me, you know, when it came to the art. She was gonna get an airbrush and an air compressor for me so I can do like airbrush clothes and airbrush shirts and things. But I'm hanging with Fatal. If y'all don't know, Fatal Hussein from Tupac's Outlaw Immortals. And I started rapping, so I put all my focus into the rapping. But before I lost my mom a couple of years ago, you know, I came back full circle, got back into the art. I was wearing one of my shirts, and she left me with a smile on her face, a proud smile, you know, because she always wanted me to do the art. I guess anything to keep me out of trouble and in the house, you know, she was with it. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing, you know. Just like the event that I invited you all to on Saturday, you know, we do that all day, man. You know, we do the events. We got the art galleries. Peace to my man Sint. He got his gallery down on right off of Broadway in Newark. He just did a project with Redman and Do It All from the Lords of the Underground. So yeah, man, I never thought that art would take it this far.
Actual, you know? Actual. That was a dope event on Saturday too. I mean, I learned a lot about graffiti. The artist that was there, dope. You know, it was a great experience. I'm definitely going to remember that for a long time to come. I just want to ask you also about what's up with the hip-hop journalism. How did you start that? Like, what got you into hip-hop journalism?
It's crazy. My brother, the same one that told me what graffiti was, he bought me the first physical copy of the Source magazine, and I had already, well, you know, I was MCing at the time, but I had already been getting like Word Up magazine and Right On magazine, and you know, my mom has gotten me Newsweek and you know, Time magazine, different magazines, and I would read. I started out reading the articles that I was interested in, and then you know, writing rhymes, and then also being a big fan of the magazine, the hip hop magazine. I was like, hey, you know, if I can write a rhyme, I can write an article. So one day I was on the New York City subway train, and I met a brother by the name of Bilal Allah from Rap Pages magazine. He gave me a free issue of the magazine with Eric B. and Rakim on the cover. This was around 92, yeah, early 90s. And they had an ad in there that said they were looking for street promoters. So I responded to the ad, but no one really got back to me, like, for a while. It's been a couple of years. So what's funny is I actually started promoting before I became a hip-hop journalist, because they finally responded, and I started doing street promotions for them. They would send me stuff from Cali, like CDs, tapes, stickers, like all types of stuff, posters, everything. So they like how, you know, they was like, man, he's doing this thing. They even got these mail forms. Like, I would go out and get people to sign the mailing list. And I did so good, they was like, we're gonna make you Eastern Regional. We're gonna make you the head of the whole East Coast as far as like the B-Boy Kingdom, which was the column that I was a part of that was in Rap Pages magazine. They got to the point, they said, do you go to the hot spots, to the concerts and the parties and things like that, and the festivals and events? I'm like, yeah. So they said, well, go to them, get a portable camera, take pictures, and just write a little piece about like the events and things like that. And there you have it. I'm a hip-hop journalist now.
Wow.
You know, and you could say photojournalist, because I was taking my own pictures. Like, I have some pictures now that's worth some money. Like a picture I took of Guru, a picture I took of Jay-Z. There's a lot of pictures. Slang Ton, rest in peace. My bro Slang Ton, I got the illest picture of, you know, of him actually right before he was murdered, you know, and because I hung out with him, and I actually did his last interview, because the day I did the interview, I interviewed the Outsiders. You know, that was basically the last time I saw him, and he had got murdered like not too long after that. So like, I did his last interview, and I got the illest picture of him with smoke coming out of his mouth, because we used to go to the smokeouts in Washington Square Park in New York, and they used to always have the rappers come through, like anybody from Craig G, Diesel Don and the Governor, Artifacts, like you name it. And Slang, somehow he became a one-man band that day. He just, when he started rocking, all eyes was on him, and we were just chilling like in the crowd. Next thing you know, the crowd shifted and was paying attention to him. You know, I was like, wow. That goes to show the impact that he had on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, appreciate that. Man, like, so knowing Fatal, how was that? How would you classify Fatal as a person? Like, who was Fatal? Like,
we might have to do a part 2 for that one too, cause the dog, man, he definitely one of the best MCs ever of all time. Like I said, he's the reason that I started rapping, the reason that I started freestyling. You know, he was just a barrel of fun. He was a barrel of laughs. He was, always good to hang around. You know, he had a good heart. He had a lot of heart. You know, he was a warrior. But he was a great person, man. You know, he was the type that you could be mad at him and he'll just make you laugh, and you'd be like, this guy. You know, and we did a lot, man. He liked animals like I did, so we used to chase rabbits and try to, take them home and everything. He gave me a rabbit once, and the rabbit bit me right here, and he ran away because his mother didn't want the rabbit in the house, so he gave it to me. As soon as he gave it to me, the rabbit bit me right here and got away. So we used to go find snakes, salamanders. Like, we were the type that wherever we are, we see a certain type of bird or what have you that we never seen before. We like, oh snap, let me see that. So yeah, Fatal, he was the greatest, man. That was fam right there. Fam for life. You know what I'm saying? Forever Fatal.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, let's redirect the attention to you. Let's get a little bit of background on you. Like, who are you as a person? So, what do you believe in? Religion or spirituality? And let's just expound on that a little bit.
I mean, I am a Christian, but from what I've learned, Christian means Christ-like believer of Christ. So yeah, and I'm definitely a man of God, and I recently entered the spiritual world. So I would say God and spirituality. Religion is man-made, and God made man. Facts. So yeah, I would say God, spirituality.
Okay, definitely. So how do you feel about the election coming up for 2020? Like, who do you think is going to win, honestly?
I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter. I didn't vote for him. I honestly think he's gonna win because he's an evil dictator. Like, that's definitely Hitler. That's baby Hitler right there. So he's gonna do everything in his power to make it so he wins. That's the Celebrity Apprentice. So I don't even see how people voted for him and how they supported him. It's the Celebrity Apprentice. He's a reality TV star, not someone that needs to be running the country. Actually, somebody that went bankrupt as much as he did and been married as much as he did means that he's unstable. And this whole thing was just a big circus. He didn't even think he was gonna win. He was joking. And from my point of view, it looked like he was joking about the whole thing. But then when he actually won, he got shook because he was on 60 Minutes looking like, what am I gonna do now? You know what I mean? And he still didn't do it. Whatever it is he was supposed to do, he still didn't do it. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't vote the last election. I ain't gonna lie, because I felt as though the people would have been screwed either way. Right. Especially if you got a tan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, over here in New Jersey, I believe Clinton won by a landslide. Hillary Clinton won by a landslide here, so it didn't even matter if you voted or not. Like, New Jersey is definitely not supporting Trump for the most part, the majority. But
I know. I mean, it's crazy because I got people that I love dearly that are behind Trump, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of people that support him and that voted for him, they're the same type of people, are the same person that he is. You know what I mean? What I've noticed.
Okay.
So it's just crazy, man.
Like minds think alike.
Yeah. They A alike, B alike, and C alike.
Yeah.
And then some people would just, again, we praise as humans, we praise celebrity more than we praise the Lord. So if somebody like Donald Trump, you know, being that he used to be down with Russell Simmons, like you see him in pictures with Tupac and different rappers and stuff. So all people gotta see is like, oh well, this is The Apprentice. You know, he had Little John on his show before, and I'm Atrocious. She was on there. That was his homegirl. You know, people would just ride with it, and they'll probably just feel like, yeah, why not?
Factual.
Now you see why not.
Factual.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So, you're still a resident of Montclair?
I just moved back a year ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, how do you feel about the community in Montclair? Is there anything that you would change about the community in Montclair?
Definitely. I would just, I would try to bring back like the old Montclair tradition, like just how we all were just Mounties. You know, it didn't matter whether you were black or white. Mounties was just Mounties. Montclair was just Montclair. We were all like one tribe. So I've been promoting that lately, because now you got a lot of New Yorkers and out-of-towners moving to Montclair, and they looking at like brothers like us, or some of the sisters, what have you. They looking at us like we're outsiders and we're strangers. Like, what you doing here? No, what are you doing here?
Facts.
You know, I graduated from here. I've been here forever. So it's like I don't like to see that. Like, it's kind of it's cool, I guess, the diversity or what have you, but they're trying to make Montclair something it really isn't. You know, Manhattan is Manhattan, Hoboken is Hoboken, Montclair is Montclair. There's nothing wrong with bringing some attractions and stuff like that up here. That's cool, you know, but no, like anytime you're like transforming the town into something else, no, I don't like that, you know. So anybody that's from Montclair, I mean, the old heads or what have you, the ones that been here, that know what Montclair was and that was here when Montclair was Montclair, we got to do something about it. And I'm not saying like we got to be out here protesting and doing all that stuff, but we just got to show them how we could come together and be that one tribe I was talking about. Mounties for life, you know, to the day I die.
I gotta say, I totally agree with that statement. I remember growing up in Montclair, it was like so much togetherness and so much community, and it feels like now it's kind of breaking up. It's not the same as it was before. I'm not saying that there is no togetherness. I'm saying that it's not the same as how it was back in the 90s era. Like in the 90s, it was a lot more togetherness.
Yeah, the 80s and the 90s was beautiful.
Yes.
You know, in Montclair. Because like I said, one tribe, it was the village.
Right.
You know, I remember times, you know, coming up, other parents had the right to whoop that butt. A couple of times, like, you know, my man's mom brought me to my mother, like when I was throwing rocks at the buses. I mean, I was little, man. But, you know, I mean, that's how it was. We had the village. Mainly, I think it needs to go back to the village. And, you know, since the orange-haired duck got in the office, a lot of people started coming out of the closet with their racism and stuff like that. And so you started seeing a lot of things going on throughout the town that's not the Montclair that we know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, you got your racism all over the place, but in Montclair, probably was like 1% of it.
I wanted to touch on that too.
And it was, you didn't see it. It was in the closet, but now it came out of the closet. You know, but
no. I mean, like, I wanted to say, like, ethnicities here in Montclair, like, everybody was together. I mean, we grew up with Koreans, Indians, blacks, whites, Hispanics. Everybody was together and unified. And it wasn't like, okay, that black guy over there, or that white guy over there, or that Asian guy over there. No, it was that person's name. You addressed that person. Everybody was an individual. Nobody had a stereotype over their head. Everybody was looked at as individuals. So that's what I loved about Montclair, and I feel like it was a gift growing up in Montclair because of that.
And not only that, quiet is kept. If some out-of-towners came up to start trouble, you'll get hit with football helmets and lacrosse sticks.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Our white brothers and sisters was there too.
That's right.
That's how it was tight knit and the unity was. It was like, this is Montclair.
Mm-hmm.
You got to deal with all of us. We all in this together. Your best friend, you in science class together, and you like, yo, let's hang out after school, and you go into his house, and it looked like the house on Benson or something, or you think you on an episode of Silver Spoons or Different Strokes, and then they would come around the way, like you would invite them over your house like the next weekend, and so now you got the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what goes down around your way and vice versa. And my mom, she was always one that always liked to go different places and meet different people and stuff like that. But, that's one of the reasons I'm a people person, and I got a big heart. I got that from my mom. So when we would go wash clothes, we would go to Upper Montclair. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's how I was able to see a lot of what went on up there. Go to Carvel's and get me a cone or something. She wanted me to see different things. You know what I mean? Not just be in one spot forever or just be closed-minded or what have you.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I mean, if I could change the Claire, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Because being that I'm the Fresh Prince of Montclair, I got a voice. So yeah, I'm gonna just talk to some people, and we gotta start doing that. I want to do the Montclair Unity Day. You heard it first from me. The Montclair Unity Day. We got to do that. We started in Montclair, and then it'll spread throughout Essex County. Then it'll spread throughout Jersey, because we got to get unity back on a whole. The village has to come back, not just in Montclair, but all over the place. You know
Factual.
what I mean?
Factual.
And now that we have this pandemic, I call it plandemic because they definitely had a plan and an agenda. But when the pandemic came, whereas I believe God to a certain extent allowed it to happen because he's not too pleased with us, because the way we were treating each other, and we weren't even focused on God at all. So it had to be a reset. We had to be slowed down a little. So whereas it's a time where in the house with the family and everything more, and we were supposed to come together and get with God, but it seemed like people got worse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we got to bring that village back. We got to bring unity back. I've always been on the village and always been on unity.
That's a big thing. And
it's sad because the world we live in, anybody that's like that, anybody that's peaceful, or anybody that wants to bring everybody together, they're looked at with a bad eye, and that's not good at all.
I agree.
You know what I mean? We're in a society where good is bad and bad is good. So
isn't it weird how things just flip-flopped from, wholesome, people being brought up on values and wholesomeness back in the 80s and 70s and things like that, and now so it's like everything is reversed. Yeah. It's like it's a very Machiavellian society that we live in, I would say so, nowadays.
And we're robots. I mean, we're robots now. Mm-hmm. With social media and all this computer stuff, like that's a part of the objective, to turn us into robots, and that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, do you have any stories that you might want to share that could help somebody else, going through life, anything like that?
Well,
some guidance.
I would first thing I would say is put God first and keep him there. And it's easier said than done, but the road does get rough. But I can honestly say within the last 2 years or so, God has really showed me that he's real. I mean, God always showed me that he was real, but you get discouraged sometimes. You go through some hard times, and then you start questioning God, and you like wondering, well, does God love me? Is God really there? But when you choose God and you keep him with you, then that's when, like how they say, if you walk to God, He'll run to you. It's true. You know, I was homeless recently, you know, for like almost 2 months. By the grace of God, I was able to get into a facility. From there, I got a room, and now God blessed me with my first apartment. And He put me in a position where I can follow my dream a little more. So definitely, like, look at the bright side and be thankful for what you do have. You know, that helps. You got to show gratitude. You got to believe. You got to have faith. All faith is knowing that God in the universe is going to come through for you. So that's what I've been doing. You know, you got to continue to work on yourself for the better. You know, learn how to forgive, and just like I said, say your prayers. Definitely pray. Definitely pray and believe. Put God first. Keep Him there. You know, God's been great. He's been blessing me. He had to remove some people from me, but then the people He removed, then He placed some people in their place. You know, so I mean, I didn't get to my destination yet, but I'm living proof that God is real. I'm on my way. I mean, things are starting to come together for me. So yeah, keep your head up, like Tupac said. Like I said, it's easier said than done. But yeah, you know, you see how just a minute ago it was dark and gloomy. Look at it now.
That's right.
It can't rain forever, and the clouds can't be out forever. So, you know.
That's right. Bad times are only just a moment in time.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. And you don't get it twisted. You're gonna have your ups and downs. It's gonna get rainy, you know, but it shall pass. You know.
Factual. Very strong brother. Very strong mind. You have anything that you want to say to anybody on the way out?
Well, one, I like to shout you all out. You know, I appreciate for one, me being the first one on the show and being able to make history with you all. And you know, you my man. I knew you forever and a day, so it's
Absolutely.
like, you know, shout out to y'all. You know,
appreciate that.
Basically, shout out to all the friends and family, you know, all the graph riders, everybody that partakes in the hip hop culture. My son DJ, you know, everybody, you know. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Claire. Shout out to Essex County, New Jersey, everybody, man. You know, I love everybody. You know?
Yes, sir. So, we're going to wrap it up here. Once again, this is Ant on Randomz. I hope y'all enjoyed, because I definitely did. And we definitely going to continue to build. Check out for that Unity Day. We're going to start working on that.
Yeah,
that's going to be a project that I'm really looking forward to as well.
Let's
you know
put it
together.
together.
Well, yeah, we're going to make it happen.
You know, it starts here.
It starts here.
You know what I mean?